here we go, family. So a suspected tether in the form of a pastor is downplaying the iconic, classic film by our good brother Ryan Coogler, and that is Sinners. And why I'm calling her a suspected tether is because we find for the most part that is, these non-FBA tethers with the, most gripes and complaints about the film, Sinners. On one hand, you got the Latinos saying that it didn't have no Latinos in the film, and that's a good thing. It didn't have no Latinos in the film because it was about our FBA lineage. We don't need to invite everyone to the cookout, And then on the other hand, you got Africans running around saying that it was Africa, this, that, and the other. No, it wasn't. So cut it out, knock it off. It was about, our FBA lineage. Now this pastor, is running around saying that, she's telling people to actually not see the film, and that if you see a hoodoo practitioner, you're cursed. This is why I don't rock with the whole religion thing, because religion is used as a vice to, keep our people inside a four-corner box. And if you step outside of the bounds of them box, that box, you going to hell, you a bad person, you going to be cursed, this, that, and the other. So I'm more of a spiritual person. I don't rock with the whole religious thing and only a tether for the most part, because for the most part, these people got very heavily colonized minds. They think that white people are their God and white people will save them. Only a tether would take, the power from our iconic, FBA ancestors and our spiritual system, our powerful black spiritual system in hoodoo, and give it to some white representation of Jesus. Because in all actuality, these people view, tethers now we're talking about, they view white people as a savior and God, and they don't think that black people can do anything for the most part, without white people. And I don't rock with that whole narrative, but if, for some strange stretch of the imagination, if this, lady was FBA, she was hella off cold, because the religion thing, been used at the black church has been used as a tool to keep our people, in disarray, rock our people to sleep. And truth be told, it was used as a weapon in enslaving our FBA ancestors, that Bible. Now, I hate to take it there, but we got to speak truth to power today. Sometimes you just got to speak truth to power, and the chips may fall where they may, So I got the audio and the video of this, suspected tether. And if for some strange stretch of the imagination, this lady is FBA, she hella off cold, trying to downplay the iconic classic film by our good brother Ryan Coogler, which is Sinners. And we're going to walk through and talk about this thing how we normally do, family. Fair use.
I told everybody you probably shouldn't go watch a movie called Sinners, where they had hired the voodoo and hoodoo practitioners to tell them how to do the conjure music and all the medicine and all the healer music and all of that. And all the Christians were like, well, I did it. I saw a message in there, and I just feel like it taught us how to. So you needed to learn how to do it from a hoodoo and voodoo practitioner? That's where you needed to.
And by the way, some of the biggest, hypocrites there are on the face of the earth, lie in the church house. They'll point out everybody's sins and flaws, but fail to address, they devilish deeds, and I don't rock with that whole narrative, pointing the finger at other people, but you ain't addressing what you doing wrong. But let's continue.
You need to learn it from? That's where. Why do you need to watch that movie 2 to 3 times to learn what God is doing? Is the word not enough? In the word.
And another thing I want to add, the letter J was the most recently, added letter to the alphabet, added in about 1633. And that was a long while, after the fact, after Jesus was said to have been born. But let's continue.
That I read, Psalms 1:1 says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Because curses don't exist in the New Testament, but according to the Bible I read, he said, if any man teach to you another Jesus that we have not preached, if anybody teaches another gospel that we have not preached, if anybody comes to another spirit that we have not preached, he said, let them be accursed. That means that if you are getting counsel from this movie.
Like I said, family, religion is used as a tool to keep, black people in a state of sleep, and it's been used as a tool to enslave our, FBA ancestors. It's been used as a weapon against us, so I don't, rock with the whole, Bible narrative, or a religion narrative, period. I'm more of a spiritual person, but if, you're going to get down with religion, just make sure it empowers you, because if your religion ain't empowering you, and if your God don't look like you, it's useless, it ain't no power in that, just keeping it honest and keeping it real. But let's continue.
from hoodoo voodoo practitioners, you're cursed. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the godly, nor standeth in the way, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
See, she telling black folks, we curse, if we see a hoodoo practitioner, which is taking the power from our iconic, FBA ancestors and giving it to some, Europeanized white version of Jesus. And I don't rock with that whole narrative, because, our spiritual systems, served our people, it healed our people, those hoodoo. It was power in hoodoo, but let's continue.
What does that look?
And it still is power in hoodoo, you know what I mean? So we can never, and that's why I say I don't believe this woman is FBA, because for the most part, we're on code now more so than ever before, and we ain't gonna discredit our ancestors, and not give it to, not give the credit over to some white representation of Jesus. But let's continue.
Look like mocking Christians for warning you not to watch the movie, nor or standeth in the way of a sinner. What does that look like? I'm going to tell all my church and social media as a worshiper, y'all should go watch this movie. Pretty plain to me. That's all I'm going to say.
Now this woman was calling people sinners for telling people to go see the movie. Yeah, that's why I don't rock with the whole religious thing, family, the religion in general, because religion keeps you in a four-corner box. And if you step outside of that box and want to be a free thinker and draw up your own conclusion, you looked at as bad, you going to hell, this, that, and the other. It forces people to, be in submission like a slave. And it was actually used to enslave our FBA ancestors. It was used as a weapon against them. Just my thoughts on the matter. And don't get mad with me, family. We just being real and speaking truth to power. Every now and then you got to, keep it real and speak truth to power. And the chips may fall where they may. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.